The Fire Inside. Released December 28, 2024. Directed by Rachel Morrison. Written by Barry Jenkins. Starring Ryan Destiny, Brian Tyree Henry, and Jasmine Headley. Rotten Tomatoes score, 94%. Metacritic, 79. IMDb, 6.9. MPA rating PG-13. Welcome back to Real Reviews. Like always, I am your host, Lee. Today we are talking about The Fire Inside, a movie based on the events of the life of Claressa Shields. I'll be honest, this movie was made to get good critic reviews. I am kind of a sucker for sports movies and ones based on actual events. But let's talk about it. If you have seen the trailer, you know the whole entire plot of the movie, or if you have seen the 2015 documentary. The story is good. It doesn't feel drawn out. I don't know if all of the events of the movie are accurate or what has been changed to create a more dramatic experience, which is a common thing in these types of movies. But everything in the story does feel natural and within reason. It does do a good job of highlighting issues with how Olympic athletes are treated in the United States, where even if they win a gold medal, they are paid about $37,000, which, considering the time and dedication they spend training, and that most athletes only compete in the Olympics every 4 years, that is basically nothing. Many of the athletes, if they don't get endorsements, live in poverty. I do think that this story will be inspirational, especially within the more poverty-stricken communities within the country, but it does set a decent expectation of how hard it can be even if you are a winner. It also does a good job showing how hard it can be for families in impoverished areas. The acting is certainly an enjoyable part of this movie. Brian Tyree Henry is fantastic as Jason Crutchfield, the coach and father figure in the movie. They show him putting in so much work, and he is able to express so much frustration at how he wasn't able to keep his end of the deal, or how no matter what he does, he gets turned away again and again. Ryan Destiny is fantastic as Claressa Shields. As someone who grew up in poverty, she has the look of not feeling like you have a future down. She does have a great range in her acting, having to go from depression to success, to being let down and then to being hopeful. Even though he doesn't have a lot of lines, I think Idrissa Sanogo does a good job being the love interest who gets pushed aside for the potential of the gold medal. Another important role that is done well is Alunique Adderley as Jackie Shield, the mother of Claressa, who does love her children but is also trying to cope with the reality of where they live. She ends up being shown as a bad mother who puts her enjoyment and relationships before her kids, but also shown as a loving mother who gets up early to cook for her children and try to take care of them. There aren't really many effects in this movie to talk about. A few times it looks like they're using a green screen and the actors don't really seem to blend well. The most important part in a movie like this is how they capture the fights, and they do a great job, making sure to capture fights from different angles, including very close in. Stories like this often don't have a traditional protagonist-antagonist structure, and this is no different. Most of the time the conflict is internal with Claressa, or her versus the world. While she does have a few opponents, the fights are pretty short. Throughout the movie, we see Claressa have to deal with family, love, expectations, failure even though she succeeded, trying to protect those she loves, etc., etc. So many good scenes that will be highly relatable. So, obviously I like this movie. Obviously I would recommend this movie. I will again acknowledge my bias in the fact that I love these types of film. I know this movie won't hit everyone in that sweet spot, but if you like based on a true story, sports movies that feel a little bit hopeful, or if you just want to know more about probably the best female boxer ever, and you want to watch a movie, then yeah, go watch it. You will like it. I gave this a perfect score. The most I could realistically dock it for some of the weird times when the backgrounds and characters don't blend like I mentioned before, but those are so few and far between that it didn't feel necessary. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment for more videos like this. I tend to have 2 videos out per week, real review like this or AI reviews depending on releases. Until next time.